Welcome. Thank you for joining in today, sharing with this cliff note to face the word today. Pray that it will bless you, that it will increase your harvest, and allow you to be a blessing to somebody else. This week's focus text is found in the book of 1 Chronicles, 4th chapter, 10th verse. Now Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed, and enlarge my border, and that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from harm, that it might not pain me." And God granted him what he requested. Of course, this is what's known as the Jabez prayer. Now, fall is one of my favorite seasons of the year. I enjoy the fall colors here in Indiana. I enjoy the coolness of the weather, where it's not too hot and not too cold. It's just my favorite time of the year here in Indiana. One of the things closely related to fall is harvesting. And many of you are probably familiar with the prayer of Jabez that requests blessing and protection. We often duplicate it in our own form and fashion, depending on current need and or situation. How often do we treat God's blessings as if they were the multitude of gifts requested and received during the holidays or special occasions, and forgotten and discounted shortly after we receive them? Or how long does it take us once we receive that specially desired new car to start looking at and desiring a newer model? The gifts and blessings received in the past still have value, but that value must be intentionally harvested to be appreciated. I deem intentional blessing harvesting to be blessing counting. It is negative to keep score for offenses received, but it is a productive harvest that is available to us if we utilize intentional and purposeful blessing counting. Such activity will self-edify us, self-build ourselves up, as we are assured that we are not and never have been forgotten, and that our source of prior blessings is inexhaustible, available, and lovingly benevolent. And also, let us not fail to note, spiritual blessings are the best blessings. Now, this blessing counting, which I'm classifying as blessing harvesting, how can we go about that? Well, the first thing we can do is we can do a review of all the blessings, deliverances, healings, prosperity, all the blessings that he has given us in the past, and make a list. It always helps to make a list because, as humans, Sometimes we suffer from spiritual amnesia, and these things just don't seem to automatically come to mind. But when we start to go the process of making a list, we begin to realize how providential and plentiful and bountiful the blessings that God has already provided us with are. Now that's simple counting. But we could also do advanced counting. Similar to, algebra, where you create your own formulas. Create blessing formulas that show us how each blessing enhanced our growth, enhanced our spiritual maturity, and prepared us for our next season of need. Now, our spiritual blessing harvesting is not limited to any point on the calendar. Once we've gone through that process, we can get to a very blessed payoff. In biblical times when they did harvesting, there was a tradition that they wouldn't pull everything out of the field. They'd leave some remnant so that the people in need could come behind the harvesters once they left and pick up what they needed. They were making provision for those that came behind them. Harvest sharing is a lot like that. In harvest sharing, we give witness to the value, benefit, and source of our blessings. After all, an active thankfulness component is living thankfulness. And as we're going through that process, we can share with others, and we can be blessed by ourselves with the realization that our blessings are perpetual. Our harvest is eternal. We are blessed, and we have a harvest worth sharing. Remember Jabez's prayer? Now Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed, and enlarge my border, and that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from harm, that it may not pain me." And God granted him what he requested. So how about this? Create your own form of Jabez's prayer, but include your thankfulness for all the blessings already provided, and let the church say and be, Amen.